Welcome everybody to We Watch Stupid. We are talking about season 10, episode 6 of 90 Days OG. If anyone objects to this union, I'm really happy that our friend Noemi is back this week because Diana's still doing baby stuff. Welcome, Noemi.
Hello, everyone.
Overall thoughts? We'll get into it, but yeah, sounds like you had a better time being a little bit high because I'm stone cold sober.
Yeah, no, I thought production did a great job in this episode to mislead me for a little bit. So that was fun. And I also feel like this week was a lot of introductions. Like people were meeting
Yeah.
people, which was fun to watch.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's true. It was like a lot of really short little snippets. Like sometimes I'll focus on a couple for like a really long time and it just felt like we were all over the place. We were all over the world, literally. One thing that I found on the internet, Roxy's internet dive about Devin. I don't know if you saw this week, but Devin is responding to people who have been saying that she seems like really slow and like talks really slow. She came out and said that she is sedated on the show because she drank heavily to cope with filming. Noemi's face.
That's not the response I expected. Okay, go on, go
I
on.
know. And she said she gained 30 pounds from binge drinking.
And not just the film. Okay.
I would not guess that she's like wasted in any of these.
Same. Same.
If that's an excuse, that's a real weird one.
But also, what a dream to be that type of drunk. Like for people around you. It's like, yes.
I could never, just get drunk and just be like chill and talk slower. Like I'm knocking shit down.
I'm loving everyone. I'm like, oh my God, tell me about your life. So, you know what? I like them, but we'll get into
Mhm.
that. But
Yeah.
that's so funny that that's what her response was.
I don't know what it's like to have that kind of like notoriety and just have like randos saying a bunch of shit on my Instagram, but seems like you should just not respond.
Yeah, you're gonna lose because now I'm judging you more on your response than you just being you. You know? Like, don't engage. Don't engage.
Seriously. All right, so should we just jump in with Rob and Sophie? Uh so it looks like she stopped talking to him and he doesn't know where she is.
I was like, stay strong. Just stay strong. You know that I mean, this was I think you're right. I did want to touch on what you had mentioned. You're right. Like this episode was very short clips of most, if not all, the couples, and it was hard for me to be like engaged. So I felt more like, oh, that's funny. But then I forgot what the whole issue like them. It could have been a clip and that's it. You did not have to cut it into like three or so. I was so annoyed.
It felt like it was just a series of kind of like updates, like it was just kind of like a
Yeah.
filler episode. But I thought that mom was the star of their bit. Sophie's mom was so fun. Yeah, she gets on this call with her like ridiculous British mom and tells her like how she had intuitive dreams that he like cheated again. So she went through his phone. And then his mom's like, "You gave up your life because he didn't want to come to your nice apartment in London." She says he's jobless, he's boring, he has no sympathy, and now he's talking to dirty, nasty skanks online.
Yeah, that made me dub Rob as jobless, boring, no sympathy Rob from now on. I'm like, "Yes, you said it."
Rather
Ugh.
than just rob the knob.
He's like, "Jobless, boring, no sympathy." I was like, "Oh my god, you are right." When we see him talking about it, he did not take any responsibility at all. Like, he was like, "Well, it happened while she wasn't here." And I'm so glad that the mom caught onto that. She was like, "No, like, that doesn't make sense." And I love that. And I was just like, "Ugh, Rob."
Yeah, he says the conversation that she's mad about that she found in his phone was before her visa was accepted.
Yeah.
But that means they were still together, and it's a new person after she told you to stop doing that. So, like, how many chances does a person get, Noemi?
If you are willing to make excuses for your partner, go ahead, stay. Like, if you have that many excuses to give, you might as well. But, ugh,
I know mom kinda sees that it's not going the way she wants. She's like, "Hmm, I can see that you're not agreeing with me, so it
dude,
seems like you're gonna give him another chance. I guess do you."
that's my take too. But my
Yeah.
god, what did you think about him being like, "I just see it as free porn from a stranger." I was like, "Then go to watch actual porn." Like,
It's a weird compulsion. Like,
yeah,
if you've done this before and she told you not to, and then, like, there's so much free porn on the internet, but you have to get it in what through whatever app you're using, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's completely a choice that you're making.
as you were saying that, it really reinforces that he just is manipulating people. He is mastering that manipulation. I think he likes having that over women. He, like you said, he is probably his looks is what sell him, and he knows how to use his words to get what he wants. I'm like, do not see him, Sophie, because he could manipulate you into being like, oh, I didn't have an excuse, but here's another one. Like,
Just
it's
use those big
scary.
hazel.
It's scary. I think the fact that he was like, if I don't talk to her, it's through. But if I get a chance to actually, like, I want to see you, I want to talk to you, he knows that's his in.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's a creep. He's a creep.
He's a creep. Sing it again. Sing it again.
He's a
Do a little
creep. He's a creep.
jobless.
Job
Boring.
boring.
No
No
sympathy.
sympathy. Creep.
Robber. We're gonna have
Uh,
nicknames throughout this whole episode, by the way.
okay, next chronologically is Gino and Jasmine, but I would want to go to Clayton and Anali. We finally learned like a little bit more about. Wait, it's Anali, right? Anali. Okay, I want to say Anali. It's Anali. She's 26. She's from Chiclayo, Peru. I looked it up. It's like in the northwest of Peru, so it looks like it's close to the beach, but it's not like quite on the beach. Yeah, what do you think about them meeting at the airport?
I thought it was cute. I am always happy when they bring flowers. I didn't understand his why he was so emotional. I didn't get it. Like, they're strangers.
Well, he has a friend that he's been playing games with for like 20 years and he's never met him. This man does he anything socially that would like that a normal person would do, that is not Clayton. Like he is probably super codependent on this woman for like all his emotional validation, all his emotional support because he literally has nobody else in his life. He like tells us that in this clip that he says at one point like I don't entertain a lot or like I don't have people over. So it's like new for me to have someone else like living with me. I'm like, "Bro, like you are he, there's like an epidemic of loneliness with like young men and he's like truly part of it. I don't understand the root of this beyond video games and being inside all the time, but
And COVID didn't help. Let's blame COVID for that as well.
I know COVID fucked all of our brains.
What was your intake of them, like, actually locking eyes and kissing in the cheek?
They really did have like real chemistry. Like they have pet names for each other. They have like inside jokes. He's like crying because he missed her so much. He gave her a mug that says guinea pigs aren't food. I thought that was great.
Oh, I love that banter, and then she makes a joke about it later on. I was like, "Oh, okay. You guys
Yeah,
are you guys right now, I'm believing it, but I'm
right.
being very skeptical." I don't know why I'm being very skeptical with this couple. Like, there's something that I just don't buy.
With Clayton or with Anali?
I think with both.
You think they're only on here for clout?
No, not for clout. But I do think that reality is going to hit soon. Like the fact that they've had a virtual relationship versus a real life. Ugh, I could
Yeah.
already see the fights and the headache, and maybe that's why I'm like, you guys don't really love each other. You don't know each other.
I mean, that's like every freaking couple though that's ever been on 90 Day.
That's true.
You have a good point, like, Clayton gives us kind of little hints that Annalie is not gonna like his well, who would like his living situation, first of all? But, like, little hints that she kind of maybe has a temper or has an attitude. He says that with a language barrier, she might be more upset than usual. Does that mean she's, like, upset all the time?
Yeah, no, I don't either. But what did you think of them introducing, like meeting the mom and Anali?
Mom has practiced her Spanish. She learned 2 phrases, mucho gusto and te amo. Annalie's face when she says te
It was so funny. She's like, "Yo también."
she was in such shock. She was not expecting that at all. Oh my god.
I don't think Clayton was either, because he was like, "Oh, that's cute." I was like, "Cute is not what I was thinking."
No,
Like
it's a lot. Annalie is very overwhelmed by the apartment. I'm disappointed in Clayton. I thought he would, like, get a couch or a table by the time she got there. Clearly not. I had high hopes for him, but no, there's still shit everywhere. There's nowhere to sit. There's nowhere to eat. It's just all for, like, guinea pigs and chihuahuas.
and I just love I'm such a bitch. When she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna show her the apartment." I was like, "All you could do is be like, 'That's the kitchen, that's
Yeah.
the house.'"
It's like it, like, dawned on me once he got up the stairs with her 2 gigantic suitcases, and then there's 3 adults standing in the middle of the living room. I'm like, "This place is teeny tiny. This is gonna be so uncomfortable." Like, his bedroom is so cramped, like, his whole desk is in there, everything's, like, shoved in a corner, his mom's there's still piles and boxes and piles of his mom's
Yeah,
junk
yeah.
everywhere.
It was funny. What did you think about her being like, you sleep over there?"
I wouldn't be horny. Would you be horny after walking into this apartment?
Yeah, that's true. It was overwhelming. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
still wanna cuddle, you know? I'm like, and this is for me, this is the sense that I got through the whole like scenes from them. I feel like he's starting to realize that he has to address his concerns, you know? Like you said, he has mentioned that she has like some anger, some control. I think that's what he has been using, control. And he's
Mhm.
having to be like, oh dang, like I actually have to address this. Like, I don't wanna.
I am curious if well, he said he's had a girlfriend that's hidden him before. He's, like, been hidden before. Um, but, like, I don't think this guy is ready for a
Marriage.
marriage. Or maybe he is because he just seems like he would be a total simp, but he doesn't seem to be able to, like, put a home together to make her comfortable.
I don't know. I hope this doesn't turn into a Jasmine Gino situationship because they're giving more or less the same energy.
What? I don't think Annalie is like, a gold
No,
digger.
not a gold digger, but I think she's going to be like,
Oh, putting him in his place? I think he needs that. His mom isn't. His mom is, like, a mess. He's a mess.
I don't know. I don't know what his long-term plan was with his mom, to be frank. Like, I don't think he has any plan.
No, and Anali didn't know that she lived in the
Yes,
closet.
yes.
That's crazy. He looks so butthurt that they're not having sex. He could have he looks flabbergasted.
No, anything else?
No. Ashley and Manuel. So they like they're in the bedroom and they're all like happy whatever and the producer is like, "What the fuck just happened? You were fighting an hour ago." And she was like, "We had sex."
I am like, I know production is going to bring that clip back in the future. Whatever they didn't show us, they're bringing it back.
That's a good point. Maybe they're saving it for a reunion. Ashley says there's lots of power in sex, there's lots of magic in sex. This confirms my theory that they don't do anything but fuck. Like, they don't really have anything in common except for sex.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think when she was like, "Yeah, there's sex magic," when she's doing like the sex magic talk, I was like, "Oh, is that what
Yeah.
that means?" I was like, "Girl, yeah, you're right. We're just fucking. Just say the sex is good." That's
Yeah, this whole relationship is just stigmatization. So they go to this witchy bar to meet her friends, and she admits, I think, that she says the friends know the bad stuff, not necessarily the good stuff, which means she's been complaining a lot, which, like, it's important to balance the good with the bad when you're, like, talking about your partner to your friends because, like, yeah, if they're only hearing the bad stuff, then they're gonna think it's not a good person for you. In Ashley's case, I don't think there's a lot of good to talk about besides the sex, so I don't fault her for that.
oh, he's so harsh. You know, I agree 100%. I do think, but then really, she needs to take a look at herself and be like, "Why am I just sharing the bad with my friends?" You know? Or is that just the human nature that we do that?
I think it's human nature, and I think that she likes the drama a little bit. Like, it's
Mm.
not like she doesn't strike me as a person that is cool with everything just being, like, chill and drama free and boring all the time.
Yeah, she
Like,
likes that. Okay, okay, I could
she
see
needs a
that.
little excitement. I don't
Yes,
think she wants it to be this intense,
yes, yes.
but she doesn't strike me as someone that's, yeah, just wants, like if she wanted just, like, a boring old whatever dude, she could just go find someone that wears khakis in Rochester, you know? But she
That's
went for
true.
Manuel.
Yeah. Terco, falso. I will say that you know how a lot of their arguments are about her witchiness, her practice? I'm like, when am I gonna see those arguments? Are they not gonna like previous
Yeah,
to
right?
them? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I want to see the arguments. Because right now it's just a lot of miscommunication. And from what I could tell, it's just different communicating styles.
What is his communicating style?
He is, and this is why I was like, because this is like, he feels very personal to me coming from a Latino household. This is a lot of the epitome of machismo in Latin America. Like,
Yeah,
you you don't
it's dripping off of him.
yes, yes, it really is. And I was like, I see my father in this. So I'm more
Oh,
I'm a
no.
little bit more understanding, you know?
So, okay, you're more familiar with it seems like, than Ashley is. What would your advice to Ashley be with dealing with this?
Oh, but it's gonna be a process. It's gonna be a process of frankly teaching him, whereas I feel right now she's just like "Duh, duh, 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 duh," more demanding, and he is going to need more of a mother to teach him this. It's awful to say, but, like, yeah, like, "Hey, you can't really be saying that," or "This is how I feel," or "This is how you're coming across," or, a lot of that. But what was I going to say about his friends? Like, I also do think that why is it so awkward when people are meeting? It's just so awkward. I don't remember
Well,
having these type of interactions in real life.
well, because it's not real. It's like these people have like been called here at this certain time, signed NDAs
That's
and
true.
releases to be on camera. Like it's not going to be an
Oh.
organic conversation because producers are like, ask him about blah blah blah. You know,
Okay, thank you. I'm glad you reminded me because I really was like, "Is this how we're living life?" But you're right. That makes more sense.
it's hard. It's a balance. Like I want to believe some part of this is real, but then at the same time, I know it's not. He says he's 80% ready to get married. 80%.
Is that a good number? Because 80% is passing.
It's like a B.
We'll be there, you know?
He said they need to spend more time together. No shit, Sherlock. Oh, and he also uses that time to say, like, you can never know another person completely to, like, kind of reinforce his desire for secrecy, whatever the fuck is going on with him.
Wait, but do you agree or you disagree with that statement?
I do think that you can never really know someone like 100%. They're an independent person. They're always going to be like growing and moving in ways you can't expect. And I think he's using that to be shitty.
That's true. That is very true. That is true. Yeah, and I think that this is where it's like them clashing. Like I'm like, I hear you and I agree with you, you know? And yet, okay, that doesn't mean you could have this whole life, you know? Cuz he's starting to seem very sketch to me. Very, very sketch. The more the more he's like even his comment to the therapist where he was like, and that's what I enjoy. I was like, are you joking and it's just not landing or
No, he is not joking. So let's go to the therapist. They go and Manuel says he's happy the way he is. He doesn't think that he needs therapy. So he's like saying up front that he like doesn't want to do this, doesn't want to engage with it. He says he prefers to shut up and walk away rather than working through problems. And yeah, it's a fucking shit show in there. What do you would you call this a successful therapy session?
no. The therapist felt more like a translator than a therapist. I was like, so what's your role here?
I mean, obviously we didn't see all of it. But yeah, like the fact that he just admits to enjoying seeing her go nuts, that's like what my brother would do to my mom when we were growing up. Like he knew exactly how to push her buttons and he thought it was hilarious to like get her, make her upset, make her cry, make her scream. Like, and it's sick. It's also, I think with my brother, it was like, and with Manuel, now that I'm talking about it, I see some parallels. Manuel doesn't have a ton of power in this relationship. He doesn't have any money. He's not like a citizen yet. He can't work. And so the only control he has is like fucking with Ashley. And it's sick. That's like what my brother would do. He doesn't have any power. He's like the little
Mhm.
kid, but
Yeah,
he can rile you up.
yeah.
So
Ugh. How much threshold do you think Ashley's gonna have for this?
I hope that she can like now that he said it out loud, she's smart. I'm hoping that she can like learn how to reel it in or maybe like she leaves the room when he's being a dick so that he doesn't have that power over
Yes.
her
Yes.
cuz I really do like Ashley. I think he is slowly driving her insane.
Yeah.
um, he, they've only been there what like 6 days? I forget what how long they have until
Yeah, they had
they
like
get married.
87 or something days, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they've been oh no, a week?
I don't remember.
Neither home.
But yeah, I'm hoping that this is revelatory for her and that she can just figure out how to work with this or send him packing. I'd prefer if she sent him packing, but seems like she's stigmatized, so
Exactly, and I've been talking like, the longest I've been stigmatized has been a year, so I didn't have nothing, like, I didn't have no visa on the line, I had no family, nothing, so trust and believe. If it's stigmatized, it's gonna be years.
it's so real. Oh my god.
What's the longest you've been stigmatized?
Oh my god. But yeah, we were off and on for probably like 2 years and he was like, "Rob, jobless, boring, no sympathy, waste of space." That's probably my longest period of being stigmatized. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it.
No one should be, but they're funny. They become funny stories, so
Yeah.
Ashley, stay strong. Enjoy the sex, actually. Enjoy the sex.
Yeah, keep him around for, like, another couple weeks and then send him packing.
Yes, yeah, basically.
Alright, Nikki and Justigor. It opens on them in bed, like, kind of making out and groaning. They finally had sex because he got wine wasted at dinner, but she's, like, still not happy about it because I guess she didn't get hers, and she says she's a leopard in heat, and she's very, very horny, and he's depriving her. I can't tell if, like, was the sex really that bad, or does she just have super high standards? I don't know. I can't tell.
Because from going from somebody that was begging for any affection to doing this, fucking like this, it was bad. It was bad.
I mean, I'll believe her that this, like he comes from kind of a macho culture, so I'll believe her that, like, I don't know, dudes there probably don't think of women's pleasure that hard. But in the ITM, he asked her if the most important part for her is sex. Why did she find someone who does it professionally, aka a sex worker?
Wait, wait. So that happens in production before they introduce this us to their segment. They roll that clip and then like her being like, "Really? Really?" And I thought it was about that conversation just to find out that the really was about something else. And I was like, "How dare you make me
They always
believe?"
they always mess with us. Yeah, she's asking him really because he said that he, like, is still trying to, like, learn or, like, catch up to her because he doesn't have as much experience with sex. And, like, she's going, "Really? Really?" Because in her mind, he's hot, therefore, he should be, slamming ass all over the place. She has, like, a serious, like, introverted little dude here, and she's just, like, projecting all this stuff onto him that's, like, not necessary.
Yeah, I mean, there is a age difference between there, and I feel like she's not accounting for it either. Like, if
Oh,
I'm
good
not
point.
mistaken, they met relatively young. They separated for a while, but then are trying it again. So I guess the assumption was that he was just fucking everyone, which
The whole time that they were apart, but he tells us that he, like, did a lot of reading, was depressed, like, had to kind of find himself again, so, like, I don't know where a slut phase factors into all that.
I don't know. I think I am giving him grace this episode because I'm realizing that he is giving us access to his switch of finding out that his partner was a trans woman. And, he's working through that. Like, I'm okay with this. I love her enough.
Mhm.
But society is now allowing me. So I think that I'm like, okay, you know, listen,
I'm
I
making a
know.
face.
No, yeah, but I'm just like, okay, fine.
So you think that the block that he talks about with his friends later at the bar is more to do with, like, societal expectations than kind of, like, his own personal preferences?
Are you getting something else?
I guess it's all, like, wrapped up together,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
it would be hard to, like, untangle it, but, like, what he basically says to his friend is, like, if he thinks too hard about her being trans, he, like, can't perform in bed, and he doesn't like that she's, like, asking for sex. So, that to me is, like, a fundamental incompatibility.
That's true because 'cause you're not accepting her. Like, true, yeah.
If you're not truly accepting her, if you're not gonna want to have sex, and if you're not gonna wanna have sex the same way, or if you're not gonna learn about how the other person wants to have sex, then it's it's DOA. 'Cause, it sounds like he was talking not just about, like, oh my god, his friend asked, like, really gross questions
Ah,
about their sex life and, like, her genitals, and so inappropriate.
I wish you did not had answered that. I was
Why did
hoping
it
that yeah.
Like, why did it need to even be on the show? Like, they could have cut that. Like, we need to stop asking trans people about their genitals.
Yes,
It's so inappropriate.
yes.
It seems like their sex life attraction in that way, it's, like, hugely triggering for her. He's still trying to figure it out. Like, I don't know what would merit working through all of this. I guess they really like each other, but it seems like it's just gonna be, like, she doesn't know how long it's gonna take him to figure this out. Her friend even says, like, give his answer of "give me time" isn't really an answer.
Exactly, exactly. I don't know. They need to talk about it's okay to have an emotional relationship with someone and go find sex elsewhere. Try that, I guess. But she needs to also realize that this is not it. She should not have to teach him how to love her like that. Like, you're wasting time.
Yeah, it's a lot. Also, their whole segment was so weird. So they, like, open on them talking about, like, how she's not satisfied, and then they go to an ITM where they're talking about sexual experience, and she's still, like, upset in the ITM. Then they're driving around going to meet his friends, and then she says the relationship is moving along in the right direction, and he's claiming her as quote unquote his woman. So, like, what happened in the last 12 hours between, like, when you woke up and, like, now? And then, like, the ITM that they threw in there was, like, very disorienting.
Yeah.
And then so then she's saying it's good, and then and then they both have these separate conversations, like, at the bar, Just Igor with his, like, guy friends, and then Nikki goes off with Just Igor's girlfriend, and then they both talk about how they're, like, not sexually compatible. So, yeah, it's all very, like, weird to me. This whole segment was kinda like a mind fuck.
There you go. I mean, it was nice to hear that he actually is very serious.
Oh, from, like, Roxy? Yeah. That he is serious and private, and, like, we don't know how good of friends they are, but it sounds like, yeah, he wasn't slamming ass all over the place, even though that's, like, what Nikki is assuming. So, that's a good point. We did learn some good stuff from meeting his friends.
Yeah, and they were cute when they like when he did the little straw thing. I was
Yeah.
like,
It is kind of a bummer because you see stuff like that and you're like, "Oh, I guess they do have chemistry," or, like, some kind of friendship. They're, like, playful, but, like, I don't think that this, like, 50-year-old woman needs to be, like, dating this 35-year-old man, and this 35-year-old man doesn't need to be, like, stringing along this 50-year-old woman.
yeah, I agree.
So we'll see. Okay. Gino and Jasmine,
No,
they were the
no, no,
only.
no, 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 no,
No?
no. We have Nick and Devin.
Oh, they're so
Excuse me.
boring.
Like
Okay.
my favorite couple.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Devin and Nick. Dad says that she looks slim when she gets in the back of the car. What did Nick tell them about her?
Oh, wait, no, that wasn't even the first one. hold on. Clayton's mom also made a reference like, "Oh, you look better in person." I don't like that. Like, don't say you look better in person. You look pretty. That's it.
Dad says he wants to make sure that Devin knows how to respect her elders. I don't know if he got that from this dinner where she said nothing except to Nick and then started crying, but sounds like it turned out okay.
Yeah, that's true. That happened. Go on.
She like wasn't speaking, and if she, when she said anything it was like in a whisper directly into Nick's ear. It
Nick is a good translator, though. I love his translating, and he's always like, you know how the dad said you look slim, but he really tried to not say that. He's like, you
yeah.
look pretty. He
Yeah.
tried- Same. I love the mom. I like the ending, like their shot of the parents and how they're like, yeah, I trust my son and I'm going to support him. I was like, I was
Yeah.
crying a little.
That was sweet. And Nick says when they're leaving, like the crying helped. Like I think it
That was
actually
hilarious.
I think it actually did because she couldn't really talk to them because she doesn't speak Korean and she's nervous.
Yeah.
But I think the crying shows that she's sincere and she cares about the family and the family's well-being and
Oh,
like
for sure. I think if
yeah.
the explanation was, "Oh, I'm crying just because I'm an anxious person," is one thing versus, "No, I'm crying because actually I feel for you." I know that
Yeah.
this is a big move and I think the mom ate it up. The mom was like,
Totally.
"No, I don't either. I don't either. I just don't have that sympathy or empathy." I mean, it's like your child made the decision to follow me, okay? But yeah, I mean, they're to me, they're so cute. Like, I'm like, I think I'm falling in love with both of them. Like,
I wish Devin wasn't so anxious about being on camera because it sounds like she and Nick have like a cute rapport and like we don't get to see any of that because she's so nervous all the time. Cause like Nick is like super, he's very funny, he's outgoing, he's like just a goofy person. And it's like she has to match that in some way, right?
well, I will say it's on his turf. You don't know how she's going to be with around her family. I'm hoping a little different. It'll be interesting to see if this is also just her 24/7.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out once they get to
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Was it?
So
Uh-huh.
is this their when they like drop
Yeah.
him off at them off at the train station, is this his like goodbye? Is he going to the US now?
That's what it seems like. But
Okay.
don't quote me. There's questions, even the like clips. I was like, wait, is he proposing now? I thought they were already.
Oh, right, they're still in Korea. Yeah.
What did you think about like the mom being like, you have something on your teeth? And then him going in and actually wiping it off.
That was his sister was mortified, like, his sister was staring so hard. She was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Meek, I think, because she wasn't just taking care of herself, but it all worked out. Now Gino and Jasmine.
Da, 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 da.
Jasmine says she's not in the mood to meet his family. She wants to look super professional and not like a gold digger.
And I was like, that's your professional outfit? Okay.
I am like, ugh, she's never gonna get Michigan. She's wearing like a short dress when it looks like it's 25 degrees out. Like she just doesn't get it.
Yeah. She
Um,
she's gonna use that later on. She's gonna be like, I just can't be in Michigan. It's so depressing. You know what I did get from production when she started talking about like, I take no shit from anyone, Jasmine. I was like, yes, Jasmine, that is your new nickname. And she starts talking about, like, the family, and the music starts going down. This is like the horror movie. The weather is gray. I was like, "This is the sign." And then the music, and I was like, "Oh, this is so good." And then they go in, and she just, like, starts laughing, like, just like it really
They made it seem like it was gonna be a terrible encounter, and then it was, like, fucking fine. One thing in her ITM before they got to the bocce place, indoor bocce place, uh, I thought this was progress for Jasmine. She said if they're disrespectful, she's gonna leave. Whereas I feel like Jasmine from before the 90 days was like, if they disrespect me, I'm gonna scream and smack them. You know what I mean? So I feel like she's growing, maybe.
I think
I don't
so,
know.
I think so. She said, "I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna be nice, I'm gonna smile," and
Mhm.
she did. That's exactly what she was true to who she is, you know? I like it. Also, like, I like how they made it seem like this sport is crazy. And I was like, "You guys are throwing a little ball." I mean, I've never played it. I'll start off there, but I'm like, "Gino, really?" Like, it's so hard to believe that she's good. I'm like, "How bad are you? Have you been playing this for years?" I don't know. I was like,
She had beginner's luck. What'd you think about Gino's brother and his wife both saying that Gino's not the best looking guy and he doesn't have the most money?
I was like, rude." But then I was like, "Then what are you guys worried about? He doesn't have anything. Why are you worried?"
Like, you should be so happy someone wants to date him. It gets worse later on, but, like, what do you think? Do you think this is, like, put on, like, fake drama and, like, the whole family's in on it, or are they really this xenophobic? Because I can't tell, because either one is perfectly plausible to me.
I think both, and especially after you said the whole, like, production definitely does give them a script. Because now that I'm thinking about it, like, some of the questions, all of the questions that at least they were shown to us were about money. Or like, "What are you bringing?" Or "What are you what was the brother that said, 'What are you providing as a citizen?'" Or something? I was like, "What is this? The visa interview?"
Yes,
Like,
so weird. So he's, like, talking to his I think it's his cousin, Dana, and
yes.
I'm assuming Dana's son, I don't remember, but Dana's wearing a fucking American flag shirt, and then Gino tells him that he gave Jasmine money for the dress, and then she spent it on cosmetic surgery. So either this is sincere and Gino is this fucking stupid to talk about this shit and like turn his family against his soon to be wife. Like again going back to the like don't tell
Mhm.
your family and friends all the
Mhm.
bad stuff, or like he's telling them because production told him to, and then this is like their weird storyline for the season. But like either way, I don't like it. I don't like
Yeah.
him like sincerely telling him, and I don't like it being like this produced. I felt like Gino, Dana, and Dana's son were all kind of like smirking throughout that entire interaction, but maybe I'm making it up.
No, I mean, there was something that the son has mentioned. Oh, yeah, something like, "Oh, yeah, we're just afraid that she's coming here to use him." I was like, "She has been using him since she's been in Peru. Relax." Like, her coming in here is not gonna change that.
I I feel no sympathy for anybody who like willingly sends money to a sugar baby. Like that's a decision that he is making, and like his family just can't comprehend that this man is like they say it themselves. He doesn't have a lot of money. He's not that good looking. Why else would someone want to be with him? It's because he's sending her money. This is what he's asking for. It's what he wants.
Yeah, let him live. I was like,
Yeah.
frankly, I was like, you guys are not good family. Like I was trying to see their dynamic, and I do think that Gino's the odd man out. So I'm like, frankly, Gino, leave your family. They're not good to you. Like, no.
How do you think he's the odd man out in his family?
I think because to me, a lot of what he's doing with his family is trying to prove himself, prove that he has a relationship. He like, that's
Oh,
what I am seeing with that dynamic,
interesting.
and I think he's also maybe in the younger side of not having a relationship, not keeping anything. They're very much like that. So I was like, I know, like,
I hadn't thought about it that way, that he needs to kind of like within his family, maybe he's trying to prove something. But then why would you tell them that you gave her money and she spent it on cosmetic surgery?
I don't well, he doesn't really know how to I shouldn't say he doesn't really know. Yeah, like I think that's his bonding time with them. Like, oh, I'm having this issues. I could finally talk about them, or relate. I don't know. I just think also it just goes back to saying, sharing things that you shouldn't. Like if it's not resolved within the relationship, don't share it with anyone, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I'm making it deeper than it is. So then they're like sitting around at this table drinking wine, and the sister-in-law asks about the wedding. Jasmine says she wants to be private because her family won't be able to come. To be clear, she can't do anything right. Like if she wanted a big wedding, she would
Yes.
be called a gold digger wasting money. And then now that she wants a small wedding, she is leaving them out and they want to celebrate with them.
Well,
So can't win.
can't win. Can't win at all. Like you don't want this wedding to go through, but you're so pressed that it's not going through.
Yeah, I know, right? Also, why would she want you guys there? You're being hella mean and xenophobic to her.
Thank you.
Like, Anthony, Dana's son, asks her if she's grateful for everything that Gino's done. Gino should be grateful she sacrificed everything in Panama and left her kids there. His brother asks how we contribute and be a productive American. What the actual fuck? In the car, she's like, to Gino, she's like, "I don't know what it's gonna take from me to, like, convince them that I belong in the family." I think it would like, her being, like, white would probably help. That's all I can think of with these people because they're clearly xenophobic, and it's really hard to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. They are, but they are a little bit better actors than Gino. But I also was like, "Ay, Jasmine, you're smart. You really are smart. You spent all that money and you're like, it's okay. I don't even want anything big. It's about me and you, baby." I was just like, and then the car ride, I was just like, ah, and award goes to Jasmine again.
For directing, acting, producing, incredible. She gets the Emmy again. If this isn't acting, Gino, the way he starts yelling at her immediately was disgusting. He says, "It could be one of my coworkers or some other motherfucker." Like he starts yelling first.
His language, he's like, he's like, "You're crazy. This is," what was the word that he used?
He calls her disgusting, ridiculous, and sickening.
To me, Jasmine was a child throwing a tantrum. But
Yes.
to me, Gino was an abusive manipulator with his words. And like him being like, "Where did you find it? Bitch, you saw Jasmine." His question, that innocent play he's doing, I'm seeing right through it. And you're right, it gave us a glimpse of how nasty he could get.
We've seen how nasty he is. He's shown us plenty of times, like, before they were, like, super produced. Like, I
Yeah.
really, really don't like the man.
Yeah, no. I think for me he does get away when he acts so like, "Oh, but I'm like, so shy, so sometimes I forget.
Totally, yeah, he's not innocent. He is not innocent. Maybe that's part of him being, like, a younger sibling. He's like, "I'm baby," you know? "Jasmine is such a bitch, blah, blah, blah," and then behind closed doors, he's, like, screaming at her, not feeding her.
Is that what That's a scary thought.
Yeah. So, yeah, where do you think this lip gloss came from? Do you care?
I don't know, I'm starting to believe Jasmine, like she said, "I know Gino."
Mhm.
Why he react that way? I don't know. It seems produced.
Yeah, she says she wants to go back to Panama and she never wants to see him again, and then her sobbing against the door made me laugh so I bent over just like, "Ugh," moaning. Oh my god. It was so funny.
I'm fighting about a lipstick. Like, the fight should have been about the family, but then it was about a lipstick. I'm just like, "Oh my god, you guys."
I think it was all of it. I
All
think
of
she was
it?
honestly probably feeling vulnerable from meeting the family, having them be so xenophobic to her face, and then xenophobic and unwelcoming to her face, and then she sees this lip gloss and she's just like, "I'm done. I'm done. On the floor, I'm done," you know?
I love that couple. They're very entertaining, but
Yeah.
seeing them, it's starting to get worrisome. Like, how long could they last without, you know, ruining themselves for other future partners?
I think they're old enough. They're set in their ways. They're not gonna this is them, you know? I'm I'm more worried about Jasmine's, like, physical well-being now. Like, when she was in Panama, like, they could scream and fight whatever. She wasn't freezing cold. Now she's, like, completely isolated, freezing cold, and they're still fighting like this. Like, shit hasn't changed that much for Gino, but, like, her life has done a complete 180, and they're still
180.
having these knockdown drag out fights, you know?
Yes, yes. And sorry, I know that really reminds me of when she was confiding in the cousin, when she was like, I left everything, I have nothing. And the cousin did not acknowledge that. That must be really tough. Like, it was very much again as like, well, Gino, what are you offering Gino? It's like, oh my God, you guys are very much not understanding. When are people going to know that it's better you're meeting this person, be nice.
So, we saw 3 different, like, bars in this episode. So, I wanna do a fuck, marry, kill with the witchy bar that Ashley and Manuel go to, the bocce place that Gino and Jasmine go to, and the, like, outdoor bar with all the fruity drinks in Moldova that Nikki and Justigor go to.
Mary Moldova, killing the Gino spot.
The bocce place.
Yeah, sorry. I'm okay.
Why
And
is there
then
an indoor bocce place in Michigan? I did not understand this
because nothing
at
could be
all.
outdoors
Yeah,
for
I
the
guess.
seasons, I think it's just not gonna be a good look.
Very weird. Okay. Sorry, interrupted you.
No, it's okay. And then I am one night standing the witchy place.
Hmm.
I feel like that's where a lot of my one night stands have happened. Type of
Witchy
feel.
bars.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that that is correct for me at least. Yeah, because the witchy bar, I didn't get a good look at the drinks, but they didn't look nearly
Yeah.
as good as the ones in Moldova. Like the ones in Moldova, like just Igor was drinking something like blue and slushy with like a pineapple in
Mhm.
it, and everybody had like cool looking drinks, and it was like outdoor patio. I live for a patio, so yeah. Marry the one in Moldova, one night stand with the witchy bar, and then yeah, I don't need to do bocce with a bunch of old people in Michigan. Okay, that is all for us this week. Tune in next week for more We Watch Stupid and more 90 Day Fiance. Thanks, y'all.
Bye, everyone.